turn into bachelor pads and maybe even quite desirable for the professional class working in Central. They would come and live over here. So it's a real mix, and the pavement actually has a it's not properly paved with the latest brick paver. It's a mix of concrete. It's broken in some places, and then there are some kind of upgraded kind of green stone paving on another side facing the Pacific Place 3. So it's a real mixed bag, and there are industrial concerns in there. And you see refuse transfer station, you see lorries or minibuses going in to collect goods, warehouses. And it's actually one of those places in Hong Kong where it still has a kind of urban village atmosphere. It's low-rise. Most of the buildings in the area are still kind of 3-4 stories. So one of the questions is, how can we work with it and allow that kind of character to continue and to develop without completely erasing or attempting to erase what has always been there, but at the same time add new layers to the psychogeography of the area. The area is also in a place where it is possible to continue to develop culture, craft, and new kind of lifestyle, a more sustainable lifestyle, and also a place where the community can call a home, a livable community in Hong Kong. So it has that potential of pointing to a direction of what Hong Kong future urban community could look like. Now, some of the work we've been doing has been looking at the so-called public open spaces and see how we could partly open it up, allow more people to use it, and partly upgrade areas which are not safe, floors which are broken, without completely changing the character of the areas. This is the Kwong Ming open space. One of the early sketches is the idea of just having a new carpet. Material, looking at some of the mosaic floor, making use of the old crafts, which we used to have in Hong Kong, the granolithic or the Shanghai plaster, and even the stuff which the Portuguese did so well, or have been doing so well, even today in places like Macau and Lisbon, the Calchadas mosaic paving. And can we revive a lot of those old crafts in the area? The area used to have a big Portuguese community. In fact, it was the first Portuguese community in Hong Kong before they moved across the harbour to Kowloon Tong. In fact, the first group of Macanese came to this area. So what we did was in fact a new carpet. Open it up, allow people to come into it, keep all the trees, small enhancement, places where people can lie on the ground. Now, public spaces are completely pointless if you don't consider it in conjunction with private spaces. Because the whole issue is not just public spaces, it's how people use private spaces in South Street, and from the private spaces do they come down to the public spaces. And the pavement is also very important. mean, the quintessential film about urban life is probably Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise. And now that depicts the pavement of New York as places where people can have confrontation, where soliciting can happen, where bullying can happen, and where you can also meet people who are at first glance quite aggressive, but actually are your friends in the end. Now, so those are the kind of thing which we want to happen in these places. And some of those are so-called kind of permitted activities. But at least 50% should be informal activities, should be activities which you have never thought about. So 50% are establishment and probably 50% antisocial. And that could only happen if we allow people to take part in the whole process of developing this area. So having drawn up some of these initial plans and coming up with some drawings, without changing all the areas, without changing all the floor paving, but just adding things here and there, what we did was we took up a shop in the area and did a pop-up shop for 2 weeks and invited people to come and give comment on what could happen. And we had something like 800 or 760 people visiting, and they gave us comment. And out of those, 150 actually wrote comment cards. And what we did was we pinned all the comment cards on the wall so that every other people who come in can see it. Now the idea is that this is a continual and continuous process, allowing people into the dark secret of the area, letting people into the secret, but also letting lights into the secret, and then getting people to respond to the area, and getting people to give us comment, and hopefully in the next few years, layer by layer, we could continue to build the whole Star Street area. Now, after the 2 weeks consultation, we amended some of the plans, come up with more kind of drawings. And currently, we are now talking to more people like the district board, like various government departments, and today I'm sharing this with you. This is a plan layered. The plan of the streets in the last kind of 50 years. So you can see how the whole thing, how the layering has been happening and how the city gradually changed. And we think these areas, the small spaces, the pavement, the larger open spaces, would, with your participation, with your input, would continue to change and to grow. And in the end, my summary and my conclusion would be like this. Public open spaces are built 50% by the physical fabric we build, and by the analysis of the function and the rights and the rights to lead the urban life which the citizen could claim on those public spaces. But there is also another 50% which are in the conscious and the subconscious of the psychogeography of the area, which actually takes much longer to build. But once it's built, once it's there, then it lasts forever. And that is actually the most potent drive for public open spaces. The key example is St. Mark's Square. Yeah. St. Marco in Venice is 90% invisible and only 10% visible and built. Thank you.